I'm sorry, Coke was his sidekick. And so Coke, who shared that kind of confidence, made this bet with Chalmers that they would find the neural correlates, the parts of the brain that are responsible for consciousness, within 25 years. That was 25 years, 27 years ago now. And Chalmers won the bet. Chalmers is famous for coining the term the hard problem to describe the whole effort to figure out consciousness. And it's a hard problem for a lot of reasons. It is one of the biggest mysteries in the universe. I mean, how consciousness came to be. Did it evolve? Was it always here? But his point was that our science is based on third-person, objective, quantifiable measurements. And consciousness is fundamentally a subjective first-person experience. So how does those tools reach in and say anything of value about consciousness? So he said, there are easy problems of consciousness we can figure out, like perception, emotion, things like that. But there is this hard problem. How do you get from matter to mind? And he won the bet. There was a ceremony I went to a couple of years ago at NYU, and Coke presented Chalmers with a case of very fine Madeira wine, and renewed the bet. He said, "All right, in another 25 years."
That's optimistic. How old are these gentlemen?
Coke is in his late 60s, so we'll see if he's around for this. But Chalmers is a little bit younger.
It's such an interesting thought because we know that the mind contains, if damaged, right? We know that there's certain parts of the mind where, like lobotomies, for instance, we know that if we disturb it, it radically affects behavior. We know that there's parts of the mind that you can stimulate that could actually recall memories, right? There's some weird stuff going on there. So we know it's somehow or another at least functionally connected to consciousness.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely a relationship. But if it's generating consciousness, that's one thing. But it could be, as you said earlier, it could be receiving consciousness.
Right.
And the same things would hold true, that if you damage parts of the brain.
Right.
Like
a
you
bad
damaged,
radio.
Damage
signal's still
the
out
television.
there.
Right.
Yeah.
So that doesn't determine the truth of either theory. And then the other one is panpsychism, which you were alluding to. I don't know if that's Rupert Sheldrake. I think he would believe more in the field of consciousness.
Yeah, right. He was a morphic resonance guy, but I think he also subscribed to this idea that things contain consciousness. It's not his, but you know what I mean? It's pretty universal, right? There's a lot of people that have subscribed to this idea that everything has consciousness.
Yeah, that even the particles that this table is made of have some eensy little bit of psyche. And the challenge there is, so that solves the problem of how did it evolve? It didn't evolve. It's always here. But then you have this other problem, like, how do you take these, if every one of our cells is made of particles that are conscious, how do you combine them in such a way that you get the sort of consciousness we have? It's called the combination problem, and nobody solved that. It's a really deep mystery. And this is an odd book in some ways in that, I don't know if this is very selling, but you'll know less at the end than you do at the beginning.
But it's a fun ride.
I think it's a great ride. It was a great ride for me. I learned so much.
Well, it's a fun ride to consider these things that no one can really figure out, or not yet.
Yeah, and also just to be put in touch with the fact you have this marvel going on in your head all the time. You have a voice in your head. We're talking to each other, but you've got another voice going on, thinking what you're going to ask, what the next question is, maybe what you're going to have for dinner. It's this amazing interior space we have.
Yeah.
And nobody understands how it came to be.